know what it is, man. You're now tuned in to the Hodge Podge Sports Show with a big song talking sharp to the cat. With a crossbow before you place a bet. Let's check with Patrick and Sean first. Unless your aim is that, holler your Podge. Check the stores right there. Get the other stations. We got you covered. Don't waste your time. Ain't no need to straddle the fence. Now you can take a solid competition where you think a gazelle can take a line. You in opposition, just listen. Never change your mind. You catch him right here. And every show a banger like Ray Lewis at the quarterback. I don't perform, you got it stop it, but will it trust God? Don't come on here talking that nonsense. Don't know nothing. No hesitation. Get put in your place. End the discussion. No shit is going over here.
Hate to be a very news.
She's like Paris.
It's over. We enjoy it. We can say the big.
Repping the city of brotherly love. Phillies of Super Bowl 52 champions. Baltimore in the building. Beats noise boys pack. Got Charm City on his back. Putting on working like Cal Ripkins on your back with the Orioles. And he's 4 rebound the college students. Knowledge from his college students. Shout out to you. Without you, this ain't possible. You rock with us, we rock with you. I love us, I love you. Much love the fan base and follow the damn page. It's deeper than sports talk. It's something like family. Ever and be more. Let's get you a brand cake. Oh, you want Philly say less. Shake. Now run and tell the sports fanatics that you know online. Tune in every weekend when we going live. Tune in every weekend when we going live. Yeah, you know what time it is, man. HBS time it is. Let's get it. You tuned in. Word reach. Cause sports breed passion. Ain't no better place to let it out than right here on HBS, where we never stop.
What's going on? Welcome to Hodge Podge Sports Show. I am Patrick Hodge, Baltimore, Maryland. He is James Harrison, Philadelphia, PA. Dynamic duo back on Saturday night, coming at you. What's going on, Sean?
How's it going, man? I'm living the dream. Talking about, ain't nobody know. No, we're gonna have fun tonight. Go ahead. We're gonna have fun tonight. I'm excited about today.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have fun tonight, man. I'm on this new train, EMVIP for Embiid. I like it. Go and talk about MLB, why or how it's not thriving. I'm going to talk about the NBA All-Star Weekend. Hopefully, we can talk about some spring training and whatever else comes to mind. But you know what we do, is it's been a little full up in here tonight, man. Good quesadillas earlier. So Hodge Podge Sports Show is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website or app for the ultimate fan experience at your favorite sports venue. Arena Eats mobile app. Pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? Oh, don't forget to show some love. You go into the group, look at our gear, squadlocker.com. We got the link put up there. Get yourself one of these Hodge Podge Sports Insider hats. Got some shirts out there for you. Man, ladies, we haven't forgot about you either. So don't out there, rock your gear, show us some love because we love you back. Man, I feel like I haven't been on for like ever with you. Oh boy, I feel like there's so many things that we missed to talk about. We didn't really get a chance to talk about the Super Bowl. We didn't get a chance to talk about the Carson Wentz trade that you called like 2 years ago. Man, there's so much.
It's funny because people don't.
For y'all that don't know, man. Yeah, for y'all that don't know, I gotta tell you, this guy told me, I think it was in week 2, week 3 of the NFL season that Carson Wentz was going to be traded. I mean, he called it right to the T. I mean, he almost even, matter of fact, I think he aimed right. I think you even told me that he was going to go to Indianapolis to reunite with Frank Wright. But I mean, it was just so funny how you said to me, yo, Patrick, we're so bad this year, man. I think week 8, week 9, you're going to see Jalen Hurts in there. They're going to put him in there, see what he can do. And then they're going to trade Carson Wentz, man. And it wouldn't shock me if he ends up in Indianapolis. And what do you know? Bada boom, bada bing.
Realest guy in the room.
I think
it's funny. I got
boom, bada boom.
Listen, I got called biased for the first time. I don't want to say the first time, but I got called biased today for the first time in a long time because anybody that knows me or watches this show or has any kind of conversation with me knows that I'm overly negative and completely unbiased all the time. I try to be and it's funny because people don't understand, like when it comes down when it comes down to us like doing this show on a weekly basis. When Patrick was talking about like how we haven't done this show in such a while, people don't understand. He hits me up on Tuesday or Wednesday, said just one word, usually topics. Then me being slow and me being slow and really bad at communicating with people, I usually respond to him either the next day or way later on that night, where he responds back to me, "Show's already built. Your ass took too long." And I'm like, I'm sorry. But it's like the thing is like there's a lot of weeks where we have topics that we really want to hit and we really want to talk about. You know, the Super Bowl being one of them, and there's other ones. The Carson Wentz trade obviously being another one. Dak Prescott right now is a huge one. Russell Wilson. Like there's so many that we have planned to talk about, and then what happens is one week I miss, next week he misses, next week I miss. And, you know, I think this is the first time I want to say in 4 weeks that we've been on together. And, you know,
I think it's right. I think it has been a minute.
Yeah, it's like nonstop us going back and forth training the weeks that we're taking off. And it's nuts, but it is what it is. And I mean, thanks for that. I mean, I remember, it's funny because I can tell you when I sent you that text about Carson Wentz, I was literally driving into work as I was doing it, and I was just like, you know, reminiscing about the game from the day before and doing what I always do and listen to sports talk in the morning. And it all hit me at once. I was like, there's no way, one, you don't trade them, and there's no way, two, you don't trade them without at least seeing what you have in Jalen Hurts, right? And now there's all this talk about the Eagles possibly drafting another quarterback with the 6th pick in the draft, which I think is dumb, but I don't really care what they do at this point. They're going to suck next year, so I don't care. They can draft anybody they want. Hey, I'm available if y'all want to draft me. I'm available for the draft. I'll take a couple lumps, but like I just don't care.
That's kind of what we were talking about, right? Yeah, when you open up that can of worms, it's like, man, we hope. I mean, I hope you go down a rabbit hole being a division rival, but taking it for face value, it's like, why draft Hurts in the second round last year to play him and then talk about you might draft another quarterback this year? Now, I get it. Hey, listen, every year you should draft a quarterback. I just don't know if you should be drafting one in the first and second round every year, right? I mean, I don't know what kind of recipe that is. And you're allowing yourself to fall further behind than what you might already be, right? So we understand that the NFC East was just not a very good division last year for a lot of reasons. Like, one, health, right? No Barkley, no Dak. Shit. I mean, we can go through everybody's roster, right? Washington Redskins didn't have a quarterback. Dallas Cowboys didn't have an offensive line. Eagles didn't have an offensive line. Giants didn't have Saquon Barkley. They didn't have this person. I mean, you know, there was a lot of reasons for why it was down. Now you're allowing these teams to get a little healthy and really come up. We know what Dallas can do offensively. We know what Washington can do defensively. Giants, they're still a work in progress. You know, Eagles, they're aging a little bit on the defensive side of the ball. They just don't really have a playmaker on the outside. Now you're talking about trading Hurts too. I mean, what are we doing here? Like, are we going into rebuild mode, or are we retooling? What are we doing? You know, are we gonna fall behind the Giants in this division for the next couple of years? I mean, you know, what's happening down there? You know, and one thing I gotta say, right, and I'm not talking to you at all when I say this, right? But I'm tired of these backpedaling ass Philly fans in our group. A couple years ago, it was Howie this, Howie that, and how we trust. Now we bring that shit up, and these mugs be like, nah, man, we ain't never trusted Howie. You know, that we ain't never said that. Stop it. You did. He's such a genius. Oh, he's a wizard with the money. Oh, he's going to set us up for success. Now it's like, oh, well, you know, he don't draft well. The only Eagle fan that told me that Howie Roseman doesn't draft well is the guy that I do this show with. He's told me this numerous times privately. He's even said it publicly in the group. So For all you other Eagle fans out there that want to turn the blind eye to some of the things you said, see, I say this to you out of love and out of respect. But I'm like a sniper, right? Always keep receipts when y'all say shit, right? So I'm talking to you. Oh, I'm gonna call you out. I'm talking to you, Ethan Fields. I'm talking to you, Kevin Moses. I'm talking to you, Steve. I can't pronounce your last name, Sawinski, whatever. I'm talking to you, David Thomason. Who's the other cat? You four particularly. I'm talking to, and I'm taking that sniper shot at right from the top of the building. 185, 262 blue, 262 white. You feel me? Stop it. Yes, that's gonna be that's gonna be our thing. That's gonna be our thing now. All I'm gonna say is this.
Oh God.
When Deshaun Jackson came back to the team, it was we got the best receiving core in the league. We got Alshon Jeffrey, we got D-Jax, we got AJ Argaside Whiteside. I think you even had Bad Hands Aguilar at the time. You know, you had the double tight end set, right? That's all I heard. And I was like, yo, Deshaun Jackson never did anything. Like stay healthy for 16 games. Alshon Jeffrey had one good year, and that was back in Chicago. Remember me and you was going back and forth about that. We was laughing, right? Because remember I was like, he hasn't been a number one since he was in Chicago. Remember we were cracking up about it? And then so on and so on, right? Then it was, I can tell you, see, man, I keep these receipts, man. These guys, I'm like an elephant. My memory's like an elephant. There's not one position on the field that Dallas has better than the Eagles. This was a couple of years ago, right? Listen, the one thing we can't take away from you, and I always tell you this, I'll never do that. Is your Super Bowl ring, right? Because you earned it, you deserved it. But come back to reality, you guys in particular. Come on back, own your shit, take it like a man. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, as you go down this descent, I'm gonna be right there, shoveling dirt on you. Right, David Thomas. Remember David last year? Oh. Listen, no, I'm not done. I got one more shot, bro. Let me get this one more shot in. I'm coming in close with the tack. He's on the ground. He's crawling. He ain't got nobody to revive him. He said, oh, the 17-game schedule should be happy for Dallas fans because it's going to give them an extra game to get in the playoffs. And you co-signed that shit last year when you made that joke because I said do better. Hey, I sent his ass to the lobby.
It's so funny. He's in the lobby. It's still a funny joke. Doesn't change the fact. It's still a funny joke. I still like it. Still a very funny joke. I enjoy it thoroughly.
It's funny, no doubt. But what I'm saying is, right now it's time to pay the piper. So that's all I'm saying.
Listen, it's definitely time to pay. It's definitely time to pay the piper. But at the oh God, I hate Howie Roseman so much. I hate him. I want to go all the way back for a second. I'm gonna take us on a journey back to the beginning of what you said, and I'm gonna work my way through it. So first off, when they drafted Jalen Hurts, the first thing I said, and will continue to say, is that was a wasted draft pick. You wasted a second-round draft pick on a quarterback that was unneeded at that time. When if you watch the team at all this year, you can see there's a hole at every single position on the field. Every single one besides running back, and we thought quarterback going into this season. We thought we had a quarterback and we had a running back going into last season, right? We thought we had Miles Sanders, and we knew we had a defensive line, and you knew you had a quarterback, Carson Wentz. So right. So you know you have no secondary, you have no linebackers. Excuse me. You have an aging offensive line, and I'm going to hit on something else you said. You said that the defensive line is aging. The defense is aging. No, Patrick, no. The whole team is aging. That's the problem. They got old quickly, and we overpaid for old players. That's what Philadelphia in general does, right? We overpay for old players. That's not just a Eagles problem. That's a Philadelphia.
Yeah, I feel
that's a Philly problem. That's a Philly problem. We overpay for old players, and that's what we did, right? We overpaid for old players. Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey, Jason Peters. Who else? The Malik Jackson. Thank you. I was trying to get his name out of my mouth too. We overpaid for old players, and we have them now for so long. It puts us in a position where we are screwed financially. So every time you see Howie Roseman restructured, you see them restructure a contract. Yeah, that helps you right now, but screws you in the future. You get hurt down the line because all that does is free up cap immediately to have to pay them on the back end. So that hurts. And plain and simple hurts. Moving on calling the shots. I mean, I see. I want to defend you guys. I really do. All the four names that he called out, but I can't, right? Because it'd be the same if the roles were reversed, and I was coming at the Cowboys Nation for being wrong. If he were to try to defend you, if he was to try to defend them, I would snap on him just like he would snap on me because it's not right. If you're going to sit there at the beginning of the year and make all these comments, it doesn't matter if you're going to make comments in general. You stand by them, right? I mean, I've made comments that are completely outlandish and asinine. I've done one or two things. I owned it to the end, or I stuck with that comment, or I take my lumps on it. It's plain and simple. And here's the thing: the funny thing about it is, when you're talking about keeping receipts, this shows an ongoing receipt, right? Right? That's all this show is. Right. It's an on thing. Tune in, click play. You know what dumb shit that you know how much dumb shit that we have both said on this show? And you know what I mean? Like, this show is a running receipt for both of us. And we'll take our lumps. It's fine. Oh well.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
Because we have. I can't believe you picked Tampa Bay Lightning to win a couple years ago. I can't believe you were thinking that.
I know. What kind of idiot was I to do that? All right. Yeah. Or
I got Tampa versus the field.
Hold on. How about that time you said Kawhi Leonard's the best two-way player in the game when healthy? What about that? Remember that time? Oh my God!
That was probably worse than the Tampa Bay.
You know, I
can't believe you brought that up. I can't believe you brought that. You were holding that one. You were holding
I'm here. What you calling?
I was dead serious too. I was dead serious on that. And I was dead serious on that Tampa Bay Lightning. I remember you were saying, Patrick, you're short. Like, yeah, don't even ask me again. Don't even ask me again. Tampa Bay Lightning. And then look, 2 years later, man, look here though. So
right team, wrong year.
It's so good when you can laugh at your damn self. Oh my gosh, that is so true. We are a running receipt on ourselves, but again, like you said, right? The thing that sets us apart is that we can take it. We can stand up for it and we can take it. And this is like speaking of Dak Prescott, right? Because I feel like for years I've been carrying this man's mantle, and I don't understand why. And when I do it, people automatically just go to the fact that I'm a Cowboys fan. And I always laugh at that is because I'm a fan of the Cowboys. I'm not a fan of the player, right? So I'm always going to be a Cowboy fan because you know how much of a fan I was of Dez Bryant, or I am of Dez Bryant, right? So when they cut him, y'all had to check on me. Like, you all right? You sent me a message. Kevin Dixon called me. You all right? I'm like, yeah, man, it is what it is. But so the thing that kills me with Dak Prescott, and I'm just gonna say this again, it's just that market value is gonna dictate what this man gets. And I just have a hard time understanding why everybody hates on the contract that he's gonna get. And I say that because no one was bitching when Kirk Cousins got paid. Nobody was bitching at Deshaun Watson's contract. Everybody's like, oh yeah, Patrick Mahomes, he deserves $45 million a year because he won a Super Bowl. Okay, so then the tired argument is this: well, you haven't won anything, so why should you get paid? So then, if that's the logic, right? If that's your argument, then by that argument, the only quarterback that should be making bank is Tom Brady because he's the only one that wins shit.
I mean, you're not going to get respect. You're not getting a retort from me. I agree.
Well, no, I'm just saying. No, I mean, right. There's dramatic effect.
I feel you.
Right. If your arm is, I'm on fire, man. I'm on fire. You shouldn't have let me get started. You should have told me. You should have told me to bring water. but that's what I'm saying. It's not about if Dak is top 10, top 5, whatever. It's his time to get paid. If you want to be mad at anybody for the contract that this young man's about to get, be mad at Jerry and Stephen Jones. That's who you should be mad at. Don't come at him and be like, oh, well, he hasn't won anything. Because the last time I checked, he didn't play defense. He wasn't part of giving up 35, 37 points a game. He wasn't giving up 400 rushing yards against the game, right? You had an opportunity to sign him before Jared Goff got paid. You had an opportunity to sign him before Carson Wentz got his contract. You had an opportunity to sign him before Kirk Cousins got his second tag, right? You had ample opportunity to sign this man to what you think that he should take. And let me say this to all you people out there trying to gauge what another man's supposed to get. Imagine somebody walked on your job and told you you're not worth what you're making, right? You walk in and you ask for a raise. Your coworkers tell you, why you going and asking for a raise, man? You ain't worth that. Oh, it's a little different there, right? It's a little different there, right? So, listen, that's why like you never really hear another athlete talk about what another athlete's gonna make, right? Like, look, we stay out of that man's pocket. So now listen, should Dak Prescott get $45 million? No, he shouldn't get $45 million. But at the end of the day, nobody should get $45 million to play a game. Listen, it's his time to get paid. He's on par with Deshaun Watson, so that's where his contract should come in. It should be equal or maybe a little bit above or maybe a tad bit less. So, yeah, that's going to be more than Russell Wilson. It's going to be more than Aaron Rodgers makes. And it is what it is because it's just his time to get paid. If it were Rodgers' time to get paid, if it were Russell Wilson's time to get paid, then they would be looking at $45 million.
So, all right.
Come on, right? Because we're going to say that they're closer to Mahomes than what Dak is, right? So, I mean, stop it. That's all I'm saying. I mean, just stop it with he hasn't done shit. He hasn't won shit. He doesn't deserve to get paid. Stop. It's the quarterback. The quarterbacks always get paid. I mean, for crying out loud, look at Jimmy G. Just for an example.
So what's
look at Goff.
Our motto on this show has always been a man is worth what somebody is willing to pay him, right? So whatever, I'm not going to say that I'm not going to say whatever the Cowboys are willing to pay him. I'm going to say whatever somebody's willing to pay him because it's still not set in stone that the Cowboys are signing him.
You're right.
Right? We don't know. Like the Cowboys could not sign him. We don't know where he's going to end up. And that is the ultimate question right now is where the question shouldn't be what Dak is signing for right now. I think the question right now should be where is Dak going to sign? Because as of right now, the Cowboys, if I'm correct, can't afford to franchise tag him. And on top of not being able to afford to franchise tag him, that puts Dak in an advantage here to where, okay, well, if you're not going to sign me for, 40 million or 42 million a year, then I'm going to somewhere else because I'm not going to sign for anything else. So this actually gives power to Dak, the fact that the Cowboys can't afford to franchise tag him. So I'm very interested. Like I said, it's not for me. It's not how much he signs for. It's how much he signs with.
Where, right? And here's the thing, right? So take it that step further. They can afford to franchise him if they want to. That's just not what they want to do. It behooves them to sign him to a long-term deal. But at this point, if you're Dak, right, do you want to sign long-term there? Because they've taken care of everybody else but you. You haven't done anything wrong. You haven't gotten in any trouble. You're a pillar of your community. You're a leader of that locker room. You can't put a price on leadership. That's what I tell you. And you and I both sat here and said it. When he got hurt, you saw how much he meant, not only to the Cowboys, but just to the game in general, right? You saw everybody coming out, wishing him well. People, it's just amazing the young man he is. But listen, right? And he was a 4th-round draft pick. Sean, he's the only quarterback from that draft that's on his original team. Out of all the quarterbacks in that entire draft, he's the only one that's still with his original team. I don't know. And Up until that point, he's performed every quarterback that was drafted ahead of him. Every single one of them. Wentz, Goff, all of them. Outperformed them all by making like $4 million. So don't tell me that he doesn't deserve to get paid. The dude has a winning record, right? Proof is in the pudding. You got. So again, it comes down to we like to move the goalposts for certain players in certain situations, right? Because now we want to put team stats on the guy that's about to get paid because it's been proven that you can't win the Super Bowl when you're paying your quarterback so much money. That's fair. That's a legit stat. But
we say also
ask
say
him
that,
to take less.
But he plays a position where you
that's
have to, right?
Exactly. It just what it is. What it is. I mean, it's just we don't have to like it, but you just got to deal with it. I mean, because it's at the end of the day, it goes back to two things you said. First of all, he is worth what somebody thinks he's worth, and secondly, it's more about where or who's going to give him that money because there's no guarantee that he's going to sign long term. If you watch the Colin Cowherd video the other day, he was advising him, hey, take the tag, man. Divorce can be scary, but sometimes divorce can be better, right? Take the tag. Take your 37. That gives you almost $69 million over the last 2 years. Take the 37 million, go somewhere else next year and play. But here's what I'll say, right? All right. So see, and here we go. See, and this is what kills me, right? This kind of comment right here. Cowboys have many holes on defense. Pay Dak a ridiculous amount, and it's 8-8 at best for him.
Is that a Cowboys? Is that a Cowboys fan?
Yeah, it's a Cowboys fan. And this is my point, right? So we went through this. The Cowboys won 6 games last year, right? That's what they won, right? They won 6 games, right? That's what they were. They were 6-10, right? So now, as bad as that defense was, right? So I ask you, Brian Green, if Dak played all those games last year and those games were unfolding the same way that they unfolded, what would the Cowboys' record have been? If you're going to sit there and tell me that the Cowboys would end up 8-8 last year with Dak playing all those games, you just go ahead and give me the eyebrow that you owe us anyway. Just go ahead and take the eyebrow off that you owe us. Stop it. But it's not Dak's responsibility to field the team. Again, if you're upset about the money he's going to make, be mad at Jerry and Stephen Jones. Those are the guys that are building the team. Those are the guys that didn't sign him 2 years ago when they could have had him at 30, 31 million. It's not his fault that he went out and played well and is earning what he's about to get paid. And yes, he's earned it. So don't cry to me or don't cry about Dak's contract and cry about the holes on defense when you pay Jalen Smith. Why'd you pay him? Why'd you pay Zeke? See, that's what I'm talking about, right? Why is nobody going at the players that got paid, right? So remember, Sean? Oh, we got to pay Zeke. We got to pay Zeke. What'd I tell you? Why are we paying him? He's under contract for 2 years. Why are we paying him? I said that whole time with you. Remember, you kept saying free Zeke, remember? And I kept saying,
I want you to free Zeke. And honestly, and this is now.
Like, why are we paying him? He's under contract for 2 years. I'm like, now's the time when you sign Dak Prescott. And what did everybody say, Sean? What did they all say? Again, I'm taking receipts. Dak needs Zeke. That's what they said. Dak needs Zeke. Well, Zeke went to Cabo, got fat. Zeke ain't been the same since. But Dak's been going this way, and Zeke's been going this way. But yep, Dak needs Zeke.
If there's one thing that you've learned,
Dak hasn't asked for $40 million. So here's another thing that kills me. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Dak has not asked for $40 million. I need y'all to really do your research on this shit and stop running with the media. He has not asked for $40 million. Not one time has he asked for $40 million. Neither nor him or his agency has asked for $40 million or above. Not once. Go ahead, Sean.
So the thing that people, not even people, just everybody, I guess, needs to realize is that running backs in the NFL right now, I don't care what anybody wants to tell me, are all a dime a dozen, okay? You can find a running back in every draft, multiple running backs in every draft that'll do serviceable jobs for you on any team. You want to know what's not what you can't find in every draft? A quarterback that's a franchise quarterback. You do not pay run. Tell me one team that's won a Super Bowl ever that had a highly paid running back. Go ahead. Think about it. I'll wait. In the last 20 years. Go ahead. I'll wait. Go ahead. Tell me those high. Hold on. I'll name some teams for you. Tell me the Patriots for the last high paid running back they had was Seahawks, Denver, Kansas City. Go ahead.
The only thing I can say is Denver, and that wasn't even in 20 years. Yeah, that was like Terrell Davis years, and that was more than 20 years ago.
All right, hold on. Now I said Seattle. You want to say Marshawn Lynch? I don't know what Marshawn Lynch's contract was, but I guarantee you he wasn't making what Alvin Kamara. He's not making what Zeke, Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey are making. I guarantee you that. Do not pay running back. You work with rookie and veteran running backs that can do it all. Look at that kid in Jacksonville right now. That running back from Jacksonville. That named Robinson, right? Robinson?
It's Robinson.
Look at him. Look at Miles Sanders. Yeah. Look at Miles Sanders in Philly. Okay? You can go down the league. There's a whole bunch of running backs that don't make a lot of money. But I'll tell you what, the difference with every one of those running backs. Oh, here you go. Leonard Fournette. How much money he signed for? Ronald Jones. How much money he signed for on Tampa Bay? Okay? But the money is given to places to help your team, right? Quarterback and defense. How did Tampa Bay win the Super Bowl? Anybody want to tell me how Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl? Because people somehow forgot, right? They stacked up on the defensive line, right? Defensive line, right? And they got a veteran quarterback. They got a franchise quarterback, right? Point about not giving all money to one player. Brian Green, no, I'm not making that point. I'm making a point to not give any money to a running back. That's what I'm saying. You rely. I'm being dead up when I say this. You draft a rookie running back and you try to win a Super Bowl with him in 4 years. And if you don't, you release him and you try again with another one. You draft a running back every 2 to 3 years and you never pay them. There's no need to pay running backs. There's not. I'm sorry. You don't find this isn't the early 1990s, mid 1990s where we ran the ball a lot to win games. You don't do that anymore. You don't. That's why Alvin Kamara is not going to win. Alvin Kamara is not winning the Super Bowl. Neither is Christian McCaffrey. Neither is Saquon Barkley.
Right. So is Patrick Mahomes not worth his contract now since he didn't win the Super Bowl? Because he won the Super Bowl on his rookie deal. Now that he got paid, he didn't win the Super Bowl, and he had one of his worst games of his career on the biggest stage. So is he not worth his contract now?
Listen,
kind of a
man.
Question, but I mean,
Listen, man.
I mean, I'm just saying, on this line of thinking, right? I mean, this line of thinking.
I can't sit here and say I'm not going. I can't. I'm not. I can't talk about. I can't talk about what somebody is worth. I can only tell you what I would do if I was a GM of a team, right? That's all I can tell you that I would do. I'm telling you that I would sign Dak for a excessive amount of money to make sure that he, being my leader, was still here. That's all I can tell you.
And listen, and here's the thing, right? So it goes back to this, right? If you're Dak Prescott, right? You've seen everybody there get paid, right? Almost top money at their position. So why wouldn't you expect that your contract would follow suit?
Yeah, and if it doesn't, why do you stay?
There it is. There it is. It'll be interesting. I do believe they are going to do a long-term deal. I do believe it will be some concessions made on both sides. I think it will come in at 4 years. I think there's going to be a lot of guaranteed money in it. I don't know what the AAV will be. I think the AAV probably will come up to be somewhere around 40, right? Again, it is what it is. I mean, if he takes less, good for him. If it's taking less to build the team, but there's other players there that need to take less as well, right? That's why they're going to do the restructure of some of these guys' deals, right? They got escape hatches on Zeke's deal after this year. They can cut him, they got an escape hatch on Amari Cooper's deal after this year, but you don't want to cut him because quiet as kept, that dude's been one of their top receivers since he died. And the numbers back it up. Everybody wants to call him soft and this and that, but Mr. Softy with 6 different quarterbacks put up 1,200 yards this year. Yeah, rightfully so. Brian Green, he should have turned down $30 million a year because he's worth more than $30 million a year. If they had offered him $30 million a year 2 years ago, it wouldn't be an issue. He shouldn't have taken $30 million a year when he's going to be paid less than the likes of Goff and Carson Wentz. Come on, common sense will just tell you that. But anyway, man, let's move it on right to the you see it. Let's talk about it. You know, this thing that's trending, EMVIP. Talk to me. Tell me what it means. Tell me what it's about.
Excuse me first. Excuse me. Anyways, if you can't read it, it says EMVP. EMVP. MVP. Joel Embiid is your MVP. And if you can't see it, then I'm going to try to help you see it, right? He is shooting the ball at a clip that he's shooting a ball that we've only seen one other player shoot it at, in Seth Curry, when he won the MVP unanimously in 2015. Right? Okay, well, let's continue. He's playing on a team that is in first place in the East, in the Philadelphia 76ers, correct? Right? But Sean, he misses games. No, you're wrong. He doesn't miss games. Everybody's going to tell me he missed 5 games, but I'm calling BS on the one, because the one was the Denver game that the whole team missed because of the COVID situation, which they should have postponed, which I complained about relentlessly, that every other team got to postpone. Boston got like 6 days off when Tatum got it. Miami got 5 days off when Butler and Bam got it. But when the Sixers get a scare and Maxi's your best player on the court. Nah, let them play against Denver. Let Jokic go off, right? But Sean, why isn't Jokic being looked at? Jokic is on a 6th place team. Jokic plays no defense. Jokic is a liability on one side of the floor. Jokic is a great passer, but he averages just as many turnovers as Embiid does. They both are at 3.2 turnovers a game. And Jokic averages less points than Embiid, but has more field goal attempts. So I don't want to hear the Jokic conversation today. Take it out back, because it's a bad conversation. What about LeBron? What about LeBron's what place is LeBron in? I got you on this LeBron. LeBron's Lakers are now in 3rd place in the West, right? And the one time they played the Lakers this year with a healthy AD and a healthy LeBron. Oh wait, here's a better one. LeBron has proven since AD is out, he cannot carry the Lakers to any wins. That team is horrible without AD. Let's not be real here. And on top of it, Joel Embiid owns the head-to-head matchup against LeBron, where he not only outscored LeBron in that game, but out-rebounded him too. So
and took a cheap shot from him too. Let's call it what it was. It was a cheap shot.
A major cheap shot from him. And everybody on this, like, I'm a huge LeBron fan, but that was very dirty. And the fact that after he pushed him on his way down, he had the audacity to go yell at the referee, saying how it shouldn't be a foul. So I don't want to. Listen, I like LeBron a lot as a player, but I lost a lot of respect for him right there. But either hearsay. So listen, that's the way I want to do it. Right? There isn't any better player. Right now, the only person that can catch. Well, get the hell out of here. I don't want to hear Giannis's name, the man that shoots. What we said this before we came on. There is no Giannis. Hold on. One at a time. Let me debunk these one at a time. Giannis shoots under 70%.
You kick Giannis.
Giannis. I'm going to give you a reason for Giannis. You cannot be an MVP and shoot under 70% free throw percentage, because that means I can't go to you late in games. That means I cannot give you the ball late in games and let you get fouled and go to the line, because you're probably not going to make it. Guess what? Embiid doesn't have that problem. He's 85%, and we just saw him hit an OT 3-pointer, or I'm sorry, a 3-pointer to go to OT against the Jazz. Right? Not only was it a bit real quick, I'm gonna do a real quick play design for you. Right? Toby catches the ball at the top of the key, against Rudy Gobert, he's supposed to shoot that ball immediately. But instead, he passes it high post to Embiid, who's forced to dribble out now and shoot a fadeaway three to hopefully have it go in. And guess what? Still drains, still goes to overtime for the win. And now you said Dame time, right? You know, I love me Dame time too, and I hate to do this to him. I really hate to do it to him. But guess what? Oh, God, he's so clutch. Oh, Logan, if you're still awake, Damian Lillard's the most clutch player in the league right now. He asked me that question yesterday, and I couldn't answer it for him. And it just Dame time, I love you, baby. But either way, Dame time's not Embiid. He doesn't affect the game in all the ways that Embiid affects the game, right? Dame time's going to score for you. He's a prolific scorer. I'm going to say this again. A prolific scorer, right? He's not going to rebound like Embiid does. He's not going to play defense like Embiid does. Okay? He's not effective. Embiid is arguably the best player on defense and the best player on offense on any given night. Correct? True or false?
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
So,
correct.
So with that being so, there's no question in my mind that Embiid's just simply just a better player than everybody else in the world right now. And Patrick, if you can do me a favor and call, can you do me a favor real quick and call into that number on your phone so I can get that? I got the air horns in my ears. So I want to open this up. I want to open this up real quick. I want to open this up, and I want all of y'all to tell me.
Just shut it down.
I am. I want to open this up to everybody else, and I want you guys to I want somebody to tell me I'm wrong. Okay, I want somebody to sit here and try to tell me who is better than Joel Embiid is right now, and I want somebody to come with a serious argument because I want to have the conversation. I do, but the only person in my mind that you could say that could possibly take it from him plays in the East. And I want you to try to guess. You know what? I don't even want you to try to guess. He plays for a team. What am I going to say? That's exactly who I'm going to say. James Harden's the only other dude in the entire NBA that can catch Embiid. I'm sorry. Listen.
I'm up on NBA, fam. I'm up on NBA this year.
What'd you say?
I'm up on my NBA this year. No, before any other time, I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. But this year, I'm up on my NBA, man. But, but for me, I'm gonna say, for me, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. I think Dame is second, right?
That dude reminds me
because listen, privately, when you told me Joel was the MVP, and I was like, nope. He misses games, right? And then I watched him play. But because first of all, he's on our fantasy team, so I got to keep tabs on him. But I forget what game it was. What I did, my whole opinion just changed. I've always been a fan of his ever since he played at Kansas. I've always liked him, and I think he's a wonderful human being to boot. So he's easy to root for, right? You know that guy is like easy to root for. Even if you're not a fan, man. You saw him play or whatever. Like he's the kind of guy that you're like, yeah, man, this guy is. I forget what game it was. He was just such a difference. And it was just. I want to say it was the Bulls game when they were on ESPN. I think he went off in that game, and then there was like he put together like this nice stretch of games, where it's just like
where he was going 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, right?
It really wasn't even about points, though. It was more about his efficiency and the way that he was playing. Like, because like the win game, man, he was like he just couldn't be stopped. And the thing that I like about him this game this year is like, he's in attack mode. Like, I think now he understands just how good and how dominant he is. Because he was wearing out, I forget who, man. It was a Chicago game. That young center had like the first 8 points on them, and then they gave him the ball, and then he just went off. And it was the Cleveland Cavaliers game. Even though they lost that game, like They were going at him, and he just took over, and he did everything he could to get him to win. Oh, the Mavericks game. The Mavericks game. That's the one. That's the one where he was just punishing anybody that was guarding him in that game. And then it was another game after that. Even in this Utah game, oh man, they were trying to go at him. No, I know. I'm sorry. I know I was going through the Pacers game. The last Pacers game was when I was like, you know what? Bada boom, bada bing. Because I was going to text you a message because Brogdon scored and he chirped at him. And that game was on. I think that game was either on.
It was on ESPN.
And whatever channel was on, the announcer was like, "Oh, Brogdon had a little something to say." What happened? The next time he came right down the court, put a move right down the middle, and dunked it. And he didn't say nothing; just looked at it.
Brogdon walked away. You know, I remember that. Brogdon took like 5 steps to the right. He didn't even want anything to do with him.
Yes. And at that point, I said, that man right now has arrived. Because before, you know, he would always have something to say back. He dunked that ball, looked at that young boy, ran down the court, and what happened? Next couple of times that man came in the lane, what happened to Brogdon's shot? He told him to get that shit out of here.
Listen, he said
after that, there was nothing nobody could do, man. Sabonis couldn't guard him. Well, he can't guard him anyway, but he just bullied everyone. And let me tell you something while we're talking about this, right? If anybody else has anybody but Ben Simmons as the defensive player of the year, we really got to have a serious conversation. Okay,
listen, we got Doc might win Coach of the Year too.
Listen, we got to have a serious conversation. I have not seen a young guy lock down play that he has this year. I mean, did you see what he did to Luka, bro?
Bro, I mean, how about he forced Donovan to get a double technical and get himself out the game. He pissed Donovan off so much in the last 2 minutes of the game. He put the clamps on Mitchell so much that Mitchell cried himself out the game. Bro,
talk to me about that. You got my message on that. Listen. That brother's soft. That brother's soft, and
softer than tissue.
He thinks he's way up here, and it's just like Chuck. It's like Shaq told him that he's that guy yet. You know, and to complain to the referees. I mean, like you threw an elbow and hooked the man that was guarding you, right? Because you was talking shit earlier that he couldn't guard you. You know, listen. The one thing that I've come to realize about NBA basketball, and I've come to appreciate, is this, right? 3.5 quarters don't mean shit. Them last 2 minutes, you're not getting a bucket on me. So Sean, can you tell me what Ben Simmons' field goal percentage is this year?
That's high.
Because I always see a lot of people say
it's really high. His field goal percentage, but his
high, right? I mean,
it's high, but I feel like for a guy that doesn't shoot, and I'm being
field goal percentage is shots made, right? Field goal percentage is shots made, right?
See, no. Field goal percentage is everything. It's shots and it's shots and layups. And here's my thing, and this is why I try to be as unbiased. This is again me being unbiased. This is me being. Well, go. Hold on. Let me finish. This is me being unbiased. And for a guy that doesn't take jump shots, and let's be real, he doesn't take jump shots. His field goal percentage should be higher. His field goal percentage is at 57.8%. Career, it's 56.2. This guy, but he's only shooting the ball 4 feet from the rim and in. So I want you to be at 65% if you're not going to shoot jumpers. And I want you to absorb contact, which this party's been doing more. I want him to absorb contact and get to the line more and sink free throws, which this year he's done a fine job at that. And I'm not complaining about that part at all. He's been doing that a lot this year, so that's fine. He's been getting to the line. But if you're not going to shoot,
the same player this year.
No, he's more aggressive this year. He's okay. You're saying it rhetorically. I'm sorry. You're saying it more rhetorically. I apologize.
He's the same guy. So this is what I'll say. That comment is just nonsense, right? Because there's a lot of guys that can't shoot and can't play D. So don't tell me that he can't shoot. There's a big difference between can't shoot and won't shoot. And he has taken a lot more jumpers this year than he has previously. So he's taking a lot more shots than 4 foot. He's hitting a lot of turnaround jumpers. He's hitting a lot of turnaround jumpers, a lot of fadeaway jumpers in the lane, and he's killing that hook shot.
Bro, did you
this
see
is what I'll say.
The end of the Cavs game? He just came up and
I'll say
the 3.
Yeah,
I was pissed off.
It looks so easy.
I was pissed off.
Yeah, because he needs to do it more. He just needs to do it more often just to keep him up. But here's what I'll say: if he's not going to shoot the 3, and he just very well may never, and he doesn't need to. That's not what he's there to do, right? Give me somebody his size that can get down the court as fast as he can. Because here's what I don't hear enough of, right? Here's what I don't hear enough of. Nobody's faster than him. Nobody gets to the line like he does. Nobody absorbs the contact like he does. Nobody creates like he does. I mean, how many people in the league his size can do what he does offensively right now without shooting the 3? You get what I'm saying? Without shooting the jump shot. Because he's still pretty damn efficient for not shooting, right? So here's what I'll say. This is what I like for him to do. I like for him to master that low post game. Like what Tobias Harris did in the overtime against Utah, Ben should be able to do that as well. And then if he's not going to develop the jumper, that's where I need him to improve. And he is getting there. But I need him to work with the big man for him to get some up and under some footwork. Because listen, he's just too damn strong. First of all, he's too fast. And I will say this to you. You say he's shooting a tick over his career average right now. He wasn't healthy at the beginning of the part. That was obvious. And it's more so obvious now the way you see him operating that his knee's probably healthy. I'm going to tell you that in the second half of this season, he'll probably get closer to 60%. And I think he's going to be a lot stronger finishing and not missing so many layups. Because I think the reason why he misses the layups is he's going too fast. I think he's too fast for himself. He gets to the hoop so fast that he gets himself a little bit out of position and can't control to slow down to put the ball off the glass. Because nobody's blocking the shot. Let's be clear, right? He's just getting there and he's like, oh, like I'm underneath the rim. Now I gotta contort my body. How many times have you seen him just make an easy layup? Everything's always like, because he's so fast, he's that body control. Once he gets that part, stop it.
So in my house, we have
feed him the ball down.
In my house, we have a saying that I say every single time I see Ben, Joel, Tobias, or basically any Sixers player miss a layup or miss a shot down low. Yeah. I scream soft hands, and I've gotten my son to start doing it with me.
That's what I'm saying.
Soft hands, because what happens is when anybody that's coached basketball in any capacity or watched it in any capacity knows is that if you're going up really quick to the basket, you have this motion with your arms where your arms move as fast as your body, which you cannot do when you're going for a layup, because if you're going to put your hands up as quick as your body's moving, you're going to clank it too hard, and it's going to come off the front rim or go off the backboard too hard. Again, soft hands. Go up slow with it, release slow with it, and it will go softly off the backboard. I yell that shit at Embiid almost every single game. Because Embiid, for as great as he's been.
That's my point. Thank you for hammering home, because that's what I see when I'm watching him. I'm like, I've just got a great appreciation for the way that he's been playing this year. And I really like the fact that he's like taking the best guy in the stretch of game. And he wants it. He's like, yo, give me that guy. I can guard him. Doesn't matter what position he plays, who he is, I can guard him. You know what I mean? And when he gets beat, he gets beat. Like, he doesn't sulk. You know what I mean? Like Dame killed him in Portland, but he didn't sulk. He kept coming at him and kept trying to guard him. It's like, that's all I like. So that's why I laugh when people are like, oh, the Nets are going to kill Philly. Like, okay, who's going to guard KD? And my question is, who the hell's going to guard Embiid? That's not a matchup. That's not a matchup. The Nets would.
Yeah, we've seen DeAndre Jordan on him already, and we've seen him eat him up. So I said this. I still think the Sixers are a player or two away, because they need to get Green or Curry to the bench. And I've told you this before. It needs to be addition. It needs to be addition without subtracting from your starting lineup. Because your goal when you're making this team,
I agree.
when you're building this team, isn't supposed to. You don't want to take players out of your rotation. You want to add them to your rotation. So you want to get rid of the players that aren't on your rotation already, and that's going to be the Sixers' biggest struggle moving forward is trying to get players on this team without moving players that aren't in your rotation or aren't in your rotation. So yeah,
I guess I'll look at it. If you can move a Ferguson or Scott, somebody that's not giving you any run, you're fine. But you don't want to give up Matisse, you don't want to give up Maxey, you don't want to give up Shake. You don't want to give those guys up, but
you're going to have to
give up the White House. He's been so good for the team in a lot of ways. I don't think he's getting enough credit for what he's bringing to that team.
I don't love
on and off the court. I'm talking about, like just how much he's keeping them loose, and this. I think he's a big part of why they're having fun. I like him. I don't like his game too much, but I like his presence there. I like what he's able to do, and they're going to need that come playoff time. They're going to need that guy that's been there, done that. I'm saying,
but he just plays. The way Dwight Howard plays just irritates my soul sometimes. Like he just does these quirky, dumb things that I just want to just go up behind him and smack him in the back of the head. For once, I don't know why he was shooting free throws at the beginning of the year at the 3-point line. Why was he shooting free throws at the 3-point line a month ago? And now he's back up on the line. Explain that to me.
He's got to figure it out, man. He's still way back from the line.
What do you mean he's got to figure it out? He's been in the league for like 13 years. There's no more figuring it out.
Hey, listen.
He's had 2 times with Doc Rivers. This is his second time with Doc Rivers. Figure it out.
Listen, some guys it just takes that long to figure it out, I guess. I don't know, man. Let's get up on out of here, man. Hodge Podge Sports Show is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website, arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience at your favorite sports venue. Arena Eats mobile app. Pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? Oh, man, this has been a really, really good hour. And I like how nobody stepped up to the challenge. They didn't want to take that heat.
Oh, well.
Who you got winning All-Star game, man? Team KD or Team LeBron?
I got team. I couldn't care less.
He's on.
I'll tell you what is cool.
Game's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. But I'm gonna give another quick shout out to my boy Embiid for donating his entire All-Star earning to the Philadelphia homeless to try to get them fed and everything. Good for him. Great. Again, it goes. What about the Sixers?
They matched it. He donated $100,000 and they matched it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. Again, it goes back to what Patrick said earlier about the guy just being so easy to like. On top of being super fun, a great follow on Twitter and Instagram, which he's not a troll as much anymore, but he's just super good guy.
Yeah, he gets it. Philly's not too big for him. He gets it.
He's too big for Philly.
Can't take it. We'll see how it is.
He'll leave us. All the great ones leave Philly. That's what happens.
He'll leave. All the great ones. Listen, this guy, this is who he is, man. He's such a pessimist. I will never go to a live baseball game with him ever again. I'll say that right now. I'm going to have to catch one for a team that they're doing it. Heavy downer out of his when he tells you he's the most depressing person or
hate to be the bad news, but the show's over. Hope you enjoyed it. Sitting the basement for day long. Shout out Serena Williams. Ain't another place to hold it down like the way that we hold it down. Hesitate to my last song. The tree know it then, bet you know it now. Pat and Sean with the dynamic duo, one of the best show around. Reverse 360 windmill. You're now rocking major leagues. Show be hitting like Mike Trout. These other guys trying to ride the wave, but not the day they get wiped out. Cause we on a whole nother level than them. They follow the trends, we the one that set them. Later smack them like Stone Cold, and that's the bottom line until we stunning something. These patients ain't seeing nothing. They just talk their head. Place to come by about the hot spot sports show, keep that heat coming. Like Palomalo in the backfield. Relax, chill, everything covered. When we move full steam, please off the track when the train coming. Wanna thank y'all for tuning in. A good time, what it's all about. Hope to catch y'all here next week. Same time, we'll be zoning out. And we encourage you to call. Be opinionated, bring it on. Just make sure that you're prepared and come hard and not at all. Verbal warfare, talking sports here. Ding, ding, let's get it on. And unless you stay instead, you ain't saying jack, keep calm and carry on. 24 on that jersey. Feeling something like Kobe. With a few seconds on that game clock. Down 2. Doing L's to the competition. It make me sick to see us win. Like Mamba mentality. See it better me and go get it. Get it. You already know how we do, man.
How we doing, Taz?
Hey, yo, Sean, what up?
What up?
Hey, yo, Pat, what up?
What up, Taz?
Thank you for tuning in, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for rolling with
Hodge
us.
Podge Sports Show, baby.
All right, everybody. Thank you for chilling with us, Brian Green. Good stuff in comedy. Remember, we're back on Saturday nights, 9 to 10. Hodge Podge Sports Show. Peace.